Hey guys, we wanted to come into the group today to chat with you. I actually just got this incredible email from a doctor friend of mine with an article talking about, the recent announcement from the World Health Organization. And it detailed in this article that the World Health Organization has decided that this update that they've made about burnout and all the consequences that it has for our economy, our families, our health, the changes they're making won't be updated in their diagnostic book until 2022. So Adam and I were just chatting about how, do you want to wait until 2022 to do something about your fatigue? And what's really interesting is actually the very first thing they have listed in describing burnout is a feeling of extreme tiredness and fatigue and exhaustion. And, we were talking about what are the consequences of fatigue? How does that affect you? And the other really interesting thing in the article that we want to talk to you about today as well is just all the studies that are coming out with how stress actually changes your brain. And those of us who are working 60 to 70 hours a week on a regular basis, like 7 days a week, it's fascinating to know that the amygdala, which is like your fear and stress center of the brain, is actually bigger in those who are experiencing chronic stress than other people. Right, Adam? And so all this stuff is just really, it's a really interesting thing to think about, but it also has dire consequences to you guys.
So, first of all, what's up? Hey, everybody in the Move, Think, Smile group and the Fatigue Free Professional. It's good to see you guys today. Coming at you live this amazing, amazing day. And yeah, this is, if you guys have been following our lives, we've been kind of like digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and every day it gets more interesting when it comes to the World Health Organization. And a couple of weeks ago, they announced that, burnout syndrome has gone from what we like to say DEFCON 1, kind of like, it's kind of a thing. And now it's up at DEFCON 2. And what they just announced, and it just blows my mind, that burnout syndrome, fatigue and exhaustion disorder, right, which is the main cause for 90% of the people out there who are feeling tired and low on energy. Okay. So if that sounds like you should pay attention to this. That 90%, that they're not going to even have this in their books on a medical level, in their diagnostic books, until 2022.
Yep, that's what I was just sharing with them. And
right. No, I'm like
yeah,
3 years from now.
yeah.
And so the big question we have for you today is, are you really willing to wait that long? We already know it's mainstream. What's going to happen if you don't take care of the exhaustion and the fatigue that you're feeling today?
Yeah, and Adam, as we were talking too, it's so easy to get used to feeling like crap. It's so easy to kind of feel like that you just have to, this is just your normal level of fatigue. And it's so interesting because when you're really stuck in that space, it can be hard to even let yourself want to feel more or to have more. It just feels like even doing something about your low energy feels like it takes too much energy, right? So you don't even do anything. And so I want to ask you guys too, what would it be like to just, be able to just breathe and not have your mind going crazy or of all the things that you should be doing or feeling guilty about, just slowing down a little bit, right?
So, yeah. So, the main question is, you guys, you can't wait. We can dive into the consequences of this all day long. But the fact that it's going to take another 3 years for them to even put it in their diagnostic books is just blowing my mind away. And instead of asking, are you going to wait till 2022 to fix the burnout syndrome, the fatigue or the exhaustion disorders that you're facing right now? The real question is, what would happen if you eliminated your fatigue today? What if you became a fatigue assassin, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would it look like for you if you had more energy? What would that feel like?
Yeah. And what's so interesting, Adam, is for a lot of the people that I talk to, it's like we just want some of the basic things. Like we want to wake up feeling good. We want to be present with our families. We want to just feel like we can enjoy a Friday or a Saturday night without feeling guilty or worrying about the stuff that didn't get done that week or what we have to take care of next week. And, and for a lot of people too, it's like, I just want to be able to get out there and do a 5K or do more hikes, get out there with my dog.
Well, a lot of people that I talk to actually are so tired that all they want to do is they say it over and over and over again. It's one of two things. I just want to feel normal again.
Yeah.
Or I just want to get my life back.
Yeah.
And then, they're so tired that they forgot what feeling good, like feeling as good as they can, really feels like. Mm-hmm. And then when you dig down there, and it takes a lot of time to get people to remember what it really feels like to move and think and smile with energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And think about that. What does it look like for you? I mean, for some people, it's very simple. It's just being able to go out and walk a couple miles, take a hike, or just go around a couple city blocks. For other people, for us, I know that when I was dealing with fatigue and stress exhaustion disorder, and it ended up in burnout, total burnout, and I'd gained 65 pounds, that I couldn't imagine doing anything. Like, I would watch like Red Bull sports and stuff like that. I was like, man, it'd be really cool if I could do that. But I never thought I could do that stuff. Yeah. Never thought I could do that stuff. I would look at like American Ninja Warrior and stuff like that, and I'd be like, there's no way I can ever do this stuff. And guess what happened?
Yeah.
We hit rock bottom. And it was either death or figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And it took us a really long time, longer than it needs to. And so we figured it out. We got our energy back. I lost the weight and then some, which was really cool. Super strong, super healthy. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. Back then, I was literally 25 years older than I was.
Yeah.
I had the health and the energy of somebody much older than myself. And now I have the health and energy of 15 years younger than myself. And that's just absolutely fantastic. And I love that. And we are doing stuff now that if you would have asked me, I don't know, during the whole fatigue and burnout phase, I've been like, are you frigging kidding me? There's no way I would ever be able to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we've been, we got invited by NBC to go compete against American Ninja Warriors on a TV show called Spartan. That was crazy. And it was crazy that I could actually keep up with them. Right. And in some instances, I was actually better than them on some things. They kicked my ass on some things, I'll be honest with you. They totally did. But there were some things I was actually really good at, and I was better than them on. It was really impressive. And it's the ability for us to just like at a moment's notice when, something's happening or we feel like we want to go do something, anywhere from, gosh, Ellie, what do we do now? I mean, of course we ride the motorcycles in the mountains, but that doesn't take a whole lot of energy. It just takes some focus, but but when you can do it for like 3 or 4 days straight, that's pretty cool. When we take it off road, it's pretty cool. When we go visit the state parks and the national parks, instead of just hanging out down at base camp and doing the easy trails, we always seek out the difficult trails, right? Yeah. That's really awesome. Being able to get up there and do that kind of stuff. And, mountain biking in Moab, kiteboarding down in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean and, here in Charleston, being able to, literally jump over fires at Spartan races now, rather than just have to sit around worrying about the next emergency that I'm going to have to put out. So
yeah, it's those kind of things. I mean, that's what makes your life feel so alive. And like you said, a lot of people are saying, I just want to feel alive, right? And, we talk a lot about too, it's like, do you have work-life balance, or do you just have a work life and that's it? No outside personal life. And we kind of touched on this a lot too when we talked about, do you have ADS, and really just reminding yourself of what's possible. And guys, we're passionate about this topic because we know how painful it can be, especially for us. We were really active, then we hit burnout and we were so exhausted. We didn't feel like ourselves again. But, there is so much more you can give when you have energy. There is so many more ways you can inspire your family. You can set a good example, and you take your business to totally new highs. And it's just like, wow. Yeah, this is what it feels like to really be alive. Like, I'm not just sort of settling for this mediocre existence.
Guys,
yeah.
I
so
we're not trying to intimidate you. We're not trying to impress you. What we're trying to do is to show you what's possible.
Yeah.
That it does not matter if you're 30, 35, 45, in your 50s. Most of our clients that we work with are in their 50s. And they are doing stuff now that is just blowing my mind away. In fact, yesterday during one of our trainings, we were with a client and we're like, man, how you doing? And if you didn't catch, it was Richard. I interviewed him a few weeks ago. And we're like, wow, you look pretty good. You got a tie on. He's like, that's not a tie. Both my arms are in a sling. We're like, oh my God, what happened? And he's like, I broke both my arms. I'm like, what would you do? He's a carpenter. He's got a big commercial carpentry business up in New Hampshire. Like, did you fall off a ladder? So I was like, no. I was riding my bike and I was bombing a mountain, coming downhill as fast as I could. And I just took it a little too far. And the brakes were just not quite tuned where they needed to be. And I completely came off the bike, landed, face met the concrete. And he's like, and I'm like, well, how are you doing? He's like, I'm actually doing pretty good, because a few months ago, before I came, you guys, the thought of even riding a bicycle, letting alone going down the mountain, because I'm training for a 90-mile road trip to Boston with my son, that would never have happened. And the good news is they're not compound breaks or anything like that. They're just from fractures, and I think they're a lot more mild. So he's going to get some, here's a shout out to Richard, man, for kicking ass on that one. And to the energy, right? And, one thing you got to think about is, if you want to be heavyweight champion of the world, and Richard wants to become a really good cyclist, and he's 55, 56 years old, and he wants to become he wants to be a really good cyclist. And here's what I know is, if you want to take it to that next level, if you want to be the heavyweight champion, you're going to get punched in the face. And that's part of the challenge, right? That's part of the gig. That's part of the thing of having fun. The thing is, he's got a memory right there. And he's like, you know what? I had so much energy. I took it to the next level. I crashed. I'm going to rebound. The bike trip is still on. I'll figure it out. We're going to make it work. Guys, that's what energy is.
Yeah. And what's interesting too is it's like, you say that and it's like, wow, it can sound like, oh, that sounds like fun, Adam. Let me get punched in the face. But it's like, the thing is though, is it's like, look, fatigue is punching you in the face every day, right? Yeah. It's like, do you want to, be laying around getting smacked down by the fatigue and the burnout? Or do you want to be having a good time? And then sometimes, maybe you are going to stumble a little bit with the energy, but you get right back up. And like Adam said, you're out there doing things that make you feel alive again, right? Yeah. Make you feel passionate. And it's like, I'll take one of those days any day over just, feeling like I have to battle myself to get off the couch or to think straight or to figure out how I'm going to pull it together to go to this meeting or to do this or do that, because I'm just so tired and I can't think straight.
Now, guys, I'm not encouraging you to go out there and crash and crack both your arms. That's not that's not the purpose of this. And yes, that sucks. And, we've got Richard with us, and we're praying for a really quick recovery and hoping that we're actually going to meet him at a Spartan race here in the next few months and actually take him through his first one of those. And that's another thing he never thought he was going to be able to do. And guys, we're not saying that you need to become like some crazy trail running lunatic, half naked, running through the woods, jumping over a bunch of walls and hay bales and crawling under barbed wire and slinging spears and stuff like that. But it is a lot of fun. At least for me, it is. And almost everybody that's done it has come out of it saying, man, I never thought in my life that I was going to be able to do something that adventurous, that cool, that warrior-like, that whatever it is, it is. So the question, guys, is what would it be like if you actually eliminated your fatigue, like we say, become a fatigue assassin, eliminated your fatigue, the exhaustion disorders that you're dealing with, and the burnout syndrome? What would that look like for you? What if you did it now? What if you woke up tomorrow with more energy and next week you woke up with even more energy than that? What if you were the next person posting online all the success that you're having with your career and those amazing adventures and things that you're now doing because you have more energy? What would that feel like?
Yeah, I was going to say the other thing too that I think is so important, it just really hit me the other day, was we've been talking about DISC profiles, and you can kind of look at all these different things online for your personality or how you operate in the world. And, with the DISC assessment, it's interesting because they have your natural style, and then they have your adaptive style. And adaptive is basically what happens when you go under stress. Mm-hmm. And here's the fascinating thing. I mean, guys, like, your personality changes dramatically when you're under stress. So if you've been living stressed out for the last 3 or 4 years or however long, you're not even the same person that you are. You've actually chemically changed your brain. Your brain has actually changed. Neuroscience is showing us this. But also, your personality is different. And what's fascinating is if your kids or, your spouse or your wife, your husband is saying, God, why are you just always in a bad mood all the time? Why are you always so stressed? This, that, quick to temper, quick to kind of shut down. It's like, that's not who you are. That's just who you are under stress.
Under stress, yeah.
Your personality shifts when you get that layer of fatigue and stress and burnout and pessimism and overwhelm and despair off you. You become a different person.
Yeah, you do. It's absolutely amazing. And I can't tell you the number of times I sat back. It's like, I can't do it. That's just not who I am. That's not what I was born to be. And I'm here to tell you guys that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Your energy, that is your birthright. You were not put here to fail and to just power through life, waking up, not feeling that rested, sometimes more tired than when you went to bed, just dragging yourself out of bed, just needing so much caffeine or something to just jumpstart your brain to navigate through that fog. Mm-hmm. Guys, that's not what you're here for. And, I think what Ellie and I want to do is, we just want to make a simple invitation. Are you really willing to wait till 2022 till maybe the medical community does something about this? And darn well they're going to have still struggle with it, because we know that doctors, they're really good at, identifying that you have disease X, fill in the blank, whatever that disease or that problem is, right? And they're really good at treating the symptoms for the, those symptoms, that disease X or whatever it is. But they have a really hard time identifying why you have that symptom or that problem in the first place. And guys, we know what the root cause of fatigue is. We know what the root cause of most exhaustion disorders. Now, there are some cases out there where there's like true adrenal dysfunction. I'm not talking about adrenal fatigue. I'm talking about adrenal dysfunction, like Addison's and Cushing's and stuff like that. But for most of the people out there, if you're working more than 40 hours a week, right, and you're tired and you're maybe gaining weight, or in the rare chance, we see some of our women clients, they actually lose weight when they get fatigued. If that's you and you're tired of being tired, right, and you're ready to become a fatigue assassin now, and you're ready to eliminate the exhaustion disorder and the burnout syndrome that's simply chasing you down. And if you want to be like our clients and you want to be posting next week how the badass things that you're doing with your life, your business, your career, your work, your profession, at home, with the kids, without the kids, riding bikes, jumping over fires, whatever it means to you. If you want to be that person, guys, we want to invite you to come and have a phone call with us over at movethinksmile.com/talk. And Elea, tell them about the call. It's free.
Yeah, so it's free. It's about 45 minutes long, and we're really just going to dive into, what's causing your fatigue, how do we get rid of that fatigue? What are the steps you need to take? And, what you can do next. It's really just helping you get clear. And it's simple. It's really, it's a simple process to just help you figure out, how the hell do I get out of here?
Yeah, guys, if you want to know what's causing your fatigue, what's triggering your fatigue, and you want to know exactly, how to change the direction of your life so you can get to where you really want to go, even if you don't know where that is yet, we can help pinpoint that for you. And if you want to talk about the exact game plan and a step-by-step strategy to max out your energy, to really get it back on fire so you can move, think, and smile again, right? With a lot of energy, please come over to movethinksmile.com/talk. And you're going to talk to either myself or Elea, and in a rare chance, somebody directly on our team. It's not going to be a call center or a robot, any of that kind of weird stuff. You're going to be talking to real people who have done miraculous things with fatigue, exhaustion disorder, and burnout. All right, guys. So if you're listening to this on our podcast, please come on over to Facebook and join the fatigue-free professional group. Just look it up, or Move, Think, Smile. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, come on over, guys. I'm pretty sure we're the only people on the planet doing that. You know, we also like to use the term burnout to badass, because that's what it really is. It's really about turning all that tiredness and that burnout into something totally badass and having an amazing life. Because if you're tired, that's not what you planned for. I can pretty sure that if you look at your checklist and your goals, so it's like, okay, between 40 and 62, be really freaking tired.
Yeah.
So guys, we'll talk to you soon. Come on over to movethinksmile.com/talk. And till then, let's chat soon.
All right, guys, take care.